I'm here today with the band director of Magee High School, Curtis Alston. And if you've been listening every day coming through Magee or on Friday nights and summertime and all, our band has been getting ready or is getting ready for a contest. And I asked our band director if he would come and tell us a little bit about the contest, when it's going to be, and some of the preparations and what they do going into this, because I do know that it takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to pull it off. So give us a little overview.
Certainly. Most states, now coming from Florida, they did it a little differently, but in Mississippi, each school is categorized by its size. Magee's size puts them at the bottom end of Category 4, which means we would be competing with other schools in that category. And so we're scheduled with Category 6 bands. Category 4 and Category 6 go to Pearl High School for a state competition on October the 11th, which is getting closer every day.
I was going to say, that's not very long.
It's not. And so we are judged on marching technique, general effects, color guard, drum major, then your musicality, your phrasing and articulation. So it's a lot of things that we are evaluated on. And then they give you a final score between 1 and 4, 1 being a superior rating, and 4 meaning you should have stayed home. And so we're on our way. We're not where we want to be yet, but we're practicing as much as we can possibly get to the field and also working on music. We have a large group of freshmen. Probably 1/3 of our high school band are freshmen, which means they had never marched before. And so that creates its own little challenges simply because they are not used to it. And we only have a dozen seniors.
How many do you have in the band?
84 at the moment.
That's great.
It's a good number. People keep telling me, oh, it was much larger years past. Well, there's a lot of things.
I don't remember that.
There's a lot of things that may be contributing to that. But at the moment, we have 84. It's a good group. And we're doing a show, excerpts from the Broadway musical Les Miserables. And so it's new to some of them, the style of music, but they seem to be enjoying it. And I'm teaching them a new style. This band seems to have only marched in the traditional marching style, whereas I'm more of a drum corps follower, whereas that means you do whatever fits the show. There's no set marching technique, marching style. You may have different marching formats going on at the same time. It's all about the impact of the show. It's theater on the football field.
That sounds great. But I bet that's hard. Very hard to get the ones that are ingrained in the regular just march.
They're always asking, Mr. Alston, are we going to get a good score on that? I said, absolutely, because they recognize that it's not traditional marching style. And it's a transition. This year's show is kind of a mixture of the two, just simply because thrusting them into a drum corps format is more traumatic than they need to experience this year. But my goal is to make them more of a 21st century band than a 1970 band.
I think that's awesome. I do. Now, let me ask you this. If I can't go on Friday nights and see you, what are some times that people may be in town in the day? What time of the day do you practice?
Well, during class time, which is 11:30 to 1:10, is band schedule time, and we're usually on the field every day during the fall. We typically have afternoon rehearsals on Thursday afternoon, and it's true at every school. The band director is always struggling with the football coach to get practice time. Some schools have the fortunate
to have the two places,
to have their own field. Some bands have their own marching field, but it requires a lot of property to be able to do that. Several people have said, well, you could go to Magee Park or whatever the park is that has another field and practice. But that creates several different issues of liability, because if it's a school function, then the school has to provide transportation, and it's just more of an issue than it is just to do it at the school. So we're trying to manage with the time we have, and we're getting there. We're really are.
So possibly Thursday afternoons late might be a time
From
that
3:30 to 5 is when we
anytime kind of in that time. So if you're in town one Thursday afternoon, I don't imagine it matters if they come watch.
No, as long as they're quiet.
And you know we have quiet people in McGee, so I'm sure they won't be hollering and screaming.
They probably don't want to film because I'll probably be hollering and screaming.
Film you with that. We are thrilled to have a new band director. We're thrilled and excited about. I can't wait to see the new formations. That sounds exciting to me because I think anytime we can progress and teach different things and new things, it's wonderful. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you coming. And
You're
I look
certainly welcome.
forward to watching that show. And we'll be keeping up with him with the contest. And again, it's on October the
11th.
11th, so not long.